Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Light Photoshop quick tip. Today we're going to do a fun one here. I'm finishing up on a campaign for a beauty pageant that's upcoming, and the client wants a stylized high fashion look for posters and that they can put up. And so that's what I'm working on. I've been touching up this image here, working on the skin and all the fine details. And I got to this point where I need to get to a creative point, and I thought I'd take you guys along for the rest of the finish here on what we're going to do. I envision here doing something creative by actually splitting the face down in half and then stylizing one side of the face one way and then stylizing the other in another with the logo of the pageant on the final product. So I'm going to jump along here and we'll see what we can do. First things first, we're going to safety first, Command and Control J, which duplicates the layer. So if anything happens, we have a duplicate to go to. I'll turn off the bottom one, and that's just for safety now. So now we're working on layer 1, and we're going to start working on splitting the face in half. And we need to do that in a stylized way. We just can't just do a straight line. That would be a boring split on the face. So we're going to do something creative where we can put a little curve on. We're going to use a pen tool. And I know a lot of you guys are definitely afraid of the pen tool. And there's no reason to be, because it is a very easy tool to use once you understand it. So I'm going to go very slow, just so you can understand it. I'm just going to click where I want the first dot to go. Boom. And now we have a blue dot square on it. Wherever I click next is going to be the next control point. The trick to the pen tool is not letting go of the mouse on the second click. Okay? And I'll explain why. So I'm going to come down to my area where I want my second one to be. And I'm going to click, and you'll notice it draws a line. I'm not letting go of the mouse, and I'm going to pull handles out. And you can see here, when I do this, I can actually make curves. Okay, I can make a curve, and how far I pull the handles or how close I make them, I can control the shape of the curve. Okay, now I don't want anything relatively radical, but I want a little bit of a curve in it. And so when I'm happy, I let go. And now that's the curve with the handles. So my next area is I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go right on the bridge of her nose. And I'm going to click, hold, okay, and then pull out the handles if I want to shape the curve how I want it to be. Told you, the pen tool is very easy to use. No reason to be intimidated by it. Once you understand this is the process, you can use the pen tool to trace anything or do anything. All right, so I'm going to continue on down the flow here, picking up on this dot. Where am I going to want my next one? And maybe just below the nose. And click. And now I will shape it however I want. Okay, and I pull the handles again to control how I want things shaped. It's really just that easy. And then I click and I'm happy, and then I go on to another one and another one and another one. And I just go through the process. Click, and now I pull out the handles till I get the curve that I want to have. And I just continue this process. Okay, however I want it, click, and now drag how I want the curve. And in this case, I don't want anything radical, right? So I don't want anything super sharp. So click in there, and I come in and just continue on the process. Okay. So now that I've explained how it works, I'm just going to go ahead and speed in here and get this done a little quicker. So come on down and I will click and curve how I wish. And again, everything is a cosmetic look. All right. And then I'm going to click outside down here and make the final curve. And then I'm going to click outside around. And that's just so I can complete, because you have to complete the path. And so there I have completed the path. Now we have it totally encapsulating one half of the image. Okay. And now inside the thing, I'm going to right click. And then I have an option here to make selection, because I want to take this path and I want to make it a selection. So make selection. We're going to go with 0 feather. And now you'll notice that we are dealing with the marching ants, and that the image is cut right down the center. And for safety purposes, let's save our selection. Okay, if something goes wrong, we want to be able to recall it. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save selection. And then I'm just going to call it demo and hit OK. Okay, so now that selection is saved, if we need to recall it for whatever reason, we can do so. So this way we don't have to recreate it. Okay, so now that we have this, we're almost better than halfway done with our creativeness. So the next thing we need to do is we need to split the left part and the right part of the picture into 2 separate layers. And you go, oh, that's going to be difficult, but it's not. I'm going to show you a little trick, but you got to promise not to show anybody. All right, so just go up and click your rectangle tool, and then I want you to come back into the selection, and I want you to right click, and I want you to now click something you probably never even seen. It's called Layer Via Cut. Okay, and then watch what happens when we do this. Boom. If we look down in our layers palette, we now have a right side cut and a left side cut. It's split and made 2 layers out of the image. So now all the hard work for us was already done. Pretty cool, right? All right, so now that we have the left and right images done, I'll select the left part of the image, and I'm going to stylize it the way I think. So I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to use a levels adjustment. So go to your adjustment panel and hit levels. And what I want to do is I want to brighten this side up. I want to whiten it. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just slide the white slider over till see I'm brightening it up. And you go as far as you wish. Okay, I'm looking for a particular style. Use your midpoint to do any details or remove details. And I'm pretty happy with that. That's looking pretty good. Okay, I want to put it on a clipping mask so that it only affects the image below it and nothing else. And that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go up to the next layer, which is the right side of the face. And again, I'm going to use another levels adjustment. So I'm coming to the adjustment layer panel, and then I'm going to hit levels. And now we have a levels adjustment above the right side. I'm going to make it a clipping mask by hitting here. This way, any adjustments we make here only affects the image below. And now we're going to turn around and darken the image. And we could do that by pulling the gamma slider over until we get the effect that we wish. And again, there's no right answer. It's what look I'm looking for, right? Now, I can also come down to the output slider, which is below this, and do additional adjustments by coming in if I want to make it darker, for example. Okay? And that's not bad. That's not bad. And you come in and do any fine adjustments you want to do, however you want it. Okay, you can make it, light, dark. I'm looking for a pretty drastic look. So that's looking pretty cool. All right. Lastly, I need to put one little touch here. Her eyeball here on the right side just totally went into darkness and you can barely see it. And I think it would be nice if I brought that eye back into the picture. Okay. So I'm going to do that by opening it up on the mask. So on this levels, I'm going to click on the mask, and now taking a paintbrush in black. Okay. And if you're on the wrong one, just flip it here by making it black. And now painting in black. Okay. And I'm going to zoom way in so that I can see good. And then I'm going to drop the opacity on this layer so I can see the eyeball better. And now, painting in black, I'm going to turn around and bring the eyeball back in. So I'm essentially unmasking the thing. And don't worry about if you make a mistake or you go too far. You saw me just go over to this area too much, right? That's not a big deal. We could correct it, okay? So let's say I want to correct this boo-boo right here. Hit the X key, reverses my colors, and now I paint in white, and I can fix that mistake. And hit X again to go back to working as normal. So it's that easy in doing your thing, okay? And of course, you would take a lot more time than I am here for the demonstrations, but you're getting the general idea, okay? And if you wanted to, you could even turn around and come in and do the eyelashes and so forth. But I'm not going to waste your time here sitting doing the eyelashes. And so there we go. We've got our finalized look. That's looking very good. And again, if I need to come in and make any adjustments at all, all right, I can just come in and adjust them all out. And again, I can make slight adjustments to do it like so. And lastly, the logo for the pageant, using the move tool, come in and drag it and drop it into our other image. Command and Control T to size it up and drag it into position. And there we go. We have our stylized campaign poster. So there you go. Hopefully you picked up a couple tools here to use. Hopefully you didn't get something out of got something out of the pen tool, because pen tool is a very powerful thing. You can be really creative with it, and it's nothing to be afraid about. A lot of people see the pen tool and run, but with a little bit of practice, you can be really creative with it. So that's going to do it for me this week. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you later.